Yo, 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 it's your boy H2O. Welcome back to another episode of the New Balance Podcast. And as I always tell you, your potential conditioner, we have another one for you. Listen, by way of Philly, my man's, he's in the buildings. Show some love for my guest on today, none other than Mr. Brandon Smith. What up, B?
Thank you. Appreciate him having me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Man, this is my man, 50 grand. You know, most of the times you like, man, I've been knowing my dude since way back. Yeah. This is funny. I met Brandon. We've been knowing each other 7 days, right, Brandon?
Yeah, 7 days.
It's crazy, huh? 7 days. But I will tell you this. Brandon and I was part of we were part of a event last week, a very powerful event, very encouraging and uplifting event. If there was ever a time in our community where you see Black people come together from different walks of life, different ideas, different thoughts, and to come together on one thought, one idea, and be positive and network and then support, that's what blessed me last week. Just seeing everybody, the support and the love at each table, you know, that blessed me, man. Definitely. It lets me know, man, we can do whatever we put our minds to, Brandon, when we want to, right?
Exactly.
And you know, man, we had a chance to chop it up. He's a phenomenal brother. He's an author. I had an opportunity to purchase his product. I've read it, and I don't want to really go into any more, but you know, New Balance Podcast, show B some love. B, holla at us, man. What's good with you, man?
I appreciate you coming. You know, like I said, I just 7 days, but those 7 days, man, you know, I met you there, and I appreciate you for having me. And we talked. Your book, what you say, even your speech, I was riveted by it. You know, I said, you know what, I really got to communicate and stay in contact with this brother, man, really. And
For sure.
Ready to get it going.
Yeah, man. I love meeting people, especially from places that I want to go. You know, we got Philly in the building.
You got to come up here, man. I'll show you around.
Yes, sir. We have Philly in the building. And what was such another blessing was seeing you there with your family. And, you know, man, when you're an entrepreneur, you're an author, whenever you're doing anything in life, man, support, family, community is everything, bro. Yeah, people can say whatever they want to. Now, don't get me wrong. You can drop some money on me if you want to. I will receive it.
Yes.
But when you talk about the nuts and bolts of moving a thing forward and being who God has called us to be, man, it takes community and it takes family to do that, man. And first, before we get into the book, I know that, first of all, we're speaking to a man. One of the things I gathered when talking to you is that, first of all, you're a man of purpose and you're a focused young man, which I love that about you. And then on top of that, man, you care about the community. Many times, you know, I know some authors, and ain't no hate, it's all love. They wrote the book, you know, for a exposure type thing for themselves. That's not the case with Captain B. Captain B was birthed out of a passion and to literally see people's lives change and be better. And so when you were talking to me, that just oozed out of your heart when we were talking. You work in the education system, and I've talked enough, man. Let me be quiet and let you talk to the people, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Brandon, and you know, bring the people up to speed, man. What's going on with you in your life?
All right, appreciate it. So, like you said, I work in the education system. I've been working with mental health and behavioral health children. I'm working in that field for about 18 years.
Incredible.
I have my bachelor's in economics, and I have my master's in psychology from University of Phoenix. I started contemplating on writing something. I didn't know what it was, but I wanted to make sure to help somebody and get my vision out. So as I'm working with kids, I started to see the underlying factor is bullying. And I say, you know, how can I address this situation in a way that I put my spin on it, my gathering, my tutelage, my education, my thought right on it in a way that people like me can understand it, and it won't be wordy. It won't be something over their head. It'll be something they can specifically relate to and understand. So it took me a little bit, so I can gather all my information and how to specifically, direct myself so they can understand it. And I talk with my family, I talk with my mom, and I just gather some inspiration and a lot of education behind it. And the drawback from it is, I just wish I would have did it sooner, because I would have did it sooner, because I feel like when I got it out, the number one factor and another one thing that a lot of kids say is, this looks like me. I can relate to it. And that fills my heart with so much joy, because that was my driving factor, because I wanted something that looks like the kids or the parents that I'm specifically talking to. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not talking to everyone. In the situations, everyone comes in contact with, bullying or whatever.
For sure.
But I wanted to specifically talk to them in a way that they understand it. And
Absolutely.
that was my driving force of creating Captain B. Now, Captain B, the first book, is just the one book, and the whole Captain B series, there's more to come. And then honestly, just talking about situations that our kids and our parents specifically handle on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of times our kids and our parents don't know how to answer or follow those keys in life. And I think that, my book, Captain B, will help the kids and the parents bridge that gap to help them talk to each other. Because sometimes, a lot of times, and I was a kid at once, I had a situation I didn't want to talk to my mom about, because I figured they're going to give me the parent way to handle something and not say, hey, this is how, you should do it or whatever. But and a lot of times when the parents on that end, they don't know how to specifically say, I think you should do it this way, or how that outcome. So Captain B is going to be that direct and help them bridge the gap for the parents and the kids.
Man, listen, I've read the book. Listen to me. You're going to have to pay somebody to misunderstand the message in the book. Right? And when we talk about bullying, when we're talking about support and being there for our kids, now, I don't want to touch this yet, but we understand there's a level of bullying that adults deal with as well. Right. But the principle and how you've written this book, man, it can apply across the board. Exactly. It doesn't matter if you're being bullied. There are principles in this book that'll help you overcome them, help you have the tough conversations, right? Because I think a lot of times, man, when that happens, especially in the day that we live in, people need support, man.
Support, right.
People need, I don't want to go to another funeral of a kid that's been bullied and just decided to take their lives, man. Exactly. Or an adult that's decided to take their lives behind bullying. So this is just no sweep under the rug message. This is something that we need to be screaming, man. So I just want to say, as a parent, right, as a father, thank you for writing the book. It's a great book, man. It's a great book. It's a great book. So in your experience, especially in education, you'll hear me say your experience in education, and then you'll also hear me say your experience in the community with this community and family. Like, where do you see the bridge there in terms of when you talk about bullying? Obviously you spend, a large part of your day on campus, right? Yes, sir. But when you leave the campus, a lot of the kids that you teach, a lot of the kids that you're around, they have to go home to the community. So how do these two places intersect when you're talking about this Captain B book?
So you know what? That's a great question, because that was my driving force, because I wanted Captain B to be something that bridges the gap, that bridges the two, because, a lot of times I see that, when you're in education, when you're at school, you're so conformed to how you want to do it in school. And then when you go home, it's a different way. And and Captain B was, just like, you don't want to say one thing and somebody else could receive it the wrong way.
Right.
So Captain B is like, I'm going to help you navigate the situations so you can understand, so it can get out for your parents to understand it, they can receive it, your parents can receive it and talk to you about it, and you can receive it correctly. So that's where the bridging gap was for Captain B, for help parents and kids, and then in school and out of school in the community.
Got you. Got it. I remember having to deal with my kids, wasn't major bullying, but it was serious enough that it concerned them. So as a parent, especially as a father, if you're a father and a mother, for the father, one of my responsibility is to protect my family.
Right.
And sometimes I'll be honest with you, nothing gets me going. Like if I feel like my family is threatened or my kids feel like they're in fear, 100%. Like I go like from 0 to 100, and 100%. It's tough situation sometimes, but when we have the right tools, man, or when we have the right support system, and so Captain B to me is like, it's obviously the right tool, but also in it, if you don't know, it could possibly help you, not possibly, it can help you find the right system and how to handle this this very uneasy, uncomfortable situation. And so I see it, man, like a roadmap. I see it as just a great light to a dark place, man. So you talk about in the beginning, and this is where you and I have a similarity, man. You before you even get into the story of Captain B, man, you talk about being inspired, man, by your grandparents. And anybody that follows this podcast or anybody that knows me personally knows the imprint that my grandparents, my grandmother, my grandfather, that they had on me. And today you hear me talk, you hear me say things, a lot of things that I do, I'm telling you, it's a direct result of their hands being on my life. And so I'm always shouting it out about them. And so I thought it really cool how you broke down how your grandfather, and he was instrumental in really being the birther. He birthed this move really in your life, man. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh man, it's crazy because my grandfather, like I remember just being in his presence. Like my grandfather was a man of few words, but his actions were tremendous, monumental. He was the backbone, like I'm telling you, the backbone of our family. He kept everyone together. If you had a problem, you come to him. If you need a meal, he makes you eat. Like he was just that cornerstone. And he is so funny because I played football all my life, and he hated football, hated it. But every game he was there. Every game.
Wow.
And it was going to see him, being with him every day, the stories he used to tell me about my family down south and how he grew up, and just the impact that he had, and the words and the wisdoms that he instilled on me. It was just I couldn't write that for nobody. Like it was just so meaningful for me to just be in his presence and listen and get all that wisdom that he gave to me. And he wasn't even just trying to, lecture me, or he was just talking to me.
Yeah.
Just, and just giving me wisdom as things that I should do. And a lot of times he would talk to my older uncles or my older family members, and I would just be there like a fly on the wall and listen and grab all that information in. And it comes, sometimes I just look at my son and look at him and say, I wish Grandpa was here for you.
Yeah.
All that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, and it's like, me dedicating to this book to him is not even enough for what he gave to my life. It's like, that's nothing. It was like when I wrote it, and it was like, what's your dedication? That's first thing to my mind. Like him, like that's it. Because I wouldn't, the man I am today, and all the trials and tribulations I went through and how to get up and keep on going, that comes directly from him, too, but like directly from him, because I seen that strength in him, even when he was, because my grandpa died of colon cancer.
Okay.
I seen that strength in him, even when he was going through all that pain, all that, I seen it. And it tore me up, but he would not let no pain, not let nothing show to us that he was going through it. And so I said, I tried to every day, like when something goes wrong, when something is out of whack, when something doesn't right, I just think like, look, it could be worse. What my grandpa say? How would he feel? And I just like, you know what, Brandon, get up, let's go, keep on moving, because that's what Grandpa would do. And like I try to live by that. I try to spread it on my family, especially on my kids. And I got a little boy, and I try to do that now to him, to get that in him, so he has that. So like it was just, this book was just dedicated. It was just like not even enough,
right,
to what he has given me now. As I see him getting older, I had a family myself. All that what he gave me is priceless. You can't put a dollar on it at all.
Wow, incredible, man. You said that's crazy. My grandfather, he also passed away from colon cancer, and to see his resolve even to the end. We knew what he was dealing with,
right?
But as a young kid said, my grandfather, he was a G to the end, right?
Exactly.
And two things here. One, I want to tell you is, you understand, we may not be the age, but we have become our grandfathers now.
Right.
And so we have a responsibility, Brandon, to be somebody else's rock, to be somebody else's pillar. And so the reason I wanted you to talk about it is because when I read your book, it's like your grandfather, like he's living through you even now through this writing. And so when you talk about being able to be strong, to be tough through the thing, that's what it's going to take for you to get through bullying.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And so I think something so simple. I see this book, when I was reading it, I was like, this is crazy. I'm reading this book, and this book can be used so many ways. So like if it's a parent, just say a mother reading to her son.
Right.
She's giving him the tools, right? He's getting the tools how to overcome bullying.
Right.
But in the same breath, the mom can take these tools and go back to work and deal with the bullying she's dealing with.
Exactly.
That's what I was like, this is so unique, right? So it's the best of both worlds for everybody. And so one of the questions I wanted to ask you, and you've already answered it, like what's your inspiration? What drives you? I just heard it. Right. The example your grandfather left, right? The shoes that he left for you to fill, man. So I think many times, especially on this channel, the viewers that watch, I want to encourage them, man, to know that go after the thing that's inside of you.
Yes.
And I understand, like you and I were blessed, Brandon, because we had a grandfather, we had Papa. We were blessed. I do understand there are people that watch, like they don't have that, man. They don't have that rock in their family. They don't have somebody that they could go to that showed them the way. So if you could speak to them, how would you encourage somebody who doesn't have our experience, right? With that model, how do you experience? I mean, how do you give them advice or give them hope when life bullies them and they have to be Captain B? Talk to that, Brandon.
And that is so good because my grandfather died 2 days after my birthday. Okay. So having to deal with that and every day of the rest of my life, it's hard. It's real tough. I would say to a person that doesn't have a grandfather, doesn't have someone that is monumental in their life, sometimes as I grow up, sometimes you have to be that person within yourself to say, look, I know things are rough right now, but I gotta be the beacon of light for myself to get over it, for myself to get through where I need to go. Because a lot of times when you look in that mirror, that person's looking right back at you.
Yeah.
So you gotta be that one to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and say, look, I need to go somewhere. I need to get to where I need to get to. And I gotta do it for me, not for nobody else, for me, because this is what I want. When I said to my family, a lot of my family, I said, I want to do a book. A lot of them said, why you want to do a book for? Why, for
right.
What? Why you want to do a book for? And I tell a lot of kids that. I said, a lot of times in life, the biggest critic's going to be within your own family. The biggest going to be from you. A lot of times, they're not going to believe your vision. They're not going to see it. They're not.
That's good.
And that's when you got to have that self, not self-doubt, that self-encouragement. Like, listen, I know what I want to do.
Right.
I'm going to get to where I want to do. I don't care about what you say.
That's good.
What I want to do. You got to have that because a lot of times you had that self-doubt. I had that self-doubt when I was writing this book. I didn't think people were going to receive my message. I didn't think they was going to reach people how I was reaching people. I didn't think that. But I say, you know what? I have a message to get out, and I want to be that person to help a young person, a family, somebody to get to where they got to get to receive that. Look, bullying is not okay. There's always a situation how to properly handle it. I look in the news every day. Killings left and right over senseless stuff.
Right.
There has to be a different way to handle stuff. And that's what Captain B is. You have to find a different way to handle stuff. We're losing too many of our babies out here. Yeah. So Captain B is that person that's going to listen. We got to figure this out. Yes. We got to find a different situation how to handle it so everybody can get what they want. Everybody can be okay at the end of the day.
Got you.
You have to have that, and like I told people, I said, look, I was telling one of the brothers we was having at the conference. I was talking to him. I said, listen, you're young. You're gonna have a lot of kids that don't believe in what you're doing. Yeah. You're gonna have a lot of kids that look like you, sound like you, act like you, talk like you, that don't believe what you're doing. It's gonna make fun of you. Do not have blinders on. It's gonna be hard, but have blinders on because you are special, because God put you down here to write. God give you a voice. You're going to write it and you're going to put it out. Somebody else is going to receive it. Somebody else looking for that receiving. Yeah. And you're going to write it and you got to be able to do that. You got to have that fortitude within your body, within your mind to say, I have a purpose. And I said, man, you got a purpose. You got to believe within yourself. And I tell people all the time, especially kids all the time, and you got to have that within you. And sometimes I get weird. Sometimes I get off task sometimes, but I got to have it say, you know what, get me back on track. I'm here for this, and let me do this. So, man. Tell people, man, I believe in it 100%. I really do.
That's incredible. Yeah, we feel your passion, man. I think that's number one. That's important. You have to keep that at the forefront of things. And when you talk about bullying, another thing, I like the example I gave you about the mother getting the help as she's helping her child. I thought about this, man, and it's a serious thing that we have to deal with. Not only, and you touched on it a little bit when you talked about family, but we have to deal with it in our families, in our community. Right. Let's talk about when others bully you with their expectations. Oh. And let me dig into that a little bit. Yes. Meaning, I talked about this on the other podcast. Yes. And I want to be very clear. Man, on this podcast, I don't believe in putting people down. Even if your truth is different from mine, your opinion is different from mine. We just don't rock like that on the New Balance podcast. But I will say this. All of us, man, ain't slam dunking it. All of us ain't scoring touchdowns. All of us ain't singing. All of us ain't shaking our backside. Right. We're authors. We're entrepreneurs. Right. You understand? We're business. Right. You understand? We run banks. Right. We run institutions. You know, we're lawyers. We can do whatever we put our minds to do. So there are many times, because when you're given a thing or you've just been shown a thing all of your life, you only believe that these are the only ways to move forward. So when you see the young man working on the football field, and trust me, I'm not against it. Man, I played ball all through school. I played ball in college. Man, my best friends played at the highest levels, man. I love sports. And trust me, if that's your thing, listen to me, do it. Do it well and make it work for you. Man, we applaud you. Trust me, I can't wait for the NFL to start, bro. I'm feeding for some football. Yes, you understand? Yes. But in context of talking about a new balance, we have to have a new balance in our community. It's time for us to do new math with a new mind. In other words, we have to look at this thing, the whole thing, and not what's just been told to us and not what's just been given to us. So what do you say to when the community or your family or the others, they bully you with their expectation and their ideas? How do we respond? Talk to me, Brandon. Talk to us.
you know what? This speaks directly to me. I've dealt with this almost all my life.
Wow.
Like my family doesn't come from, prestigious family, doesn't come from family of education. They come from, family of the street, should I say. And I was like, I went to, me and my sister went to school. I went to 4-year college. I got my degrees and was frowned upon. Like, why are you going to school? You get money out here like this. Like you can, for what? You're wasting your time. You get a degree. You're not going to make money doing that. And that's the kind of direct negativity that you receive within your whole family. What you would think that you shouldn't get. They should be one telling you back, like, go, do it. But you receive that. When I want to write a book, for what? Why? And honestly, that's what pushed me to write it. Because I want to be the person that does things that you say is corny. You say you shouldn't do. I have a saying on my website where I say, don't be the wave, be the ocean. Waves come and go, ocean lasts forever. And science says there's only 5% of the ocean that's been discovered. 5%.
Wow.
Has been discovered. So I tell kids all day, waves, they come and go. But have you ever seen the end of the ocean? Nobody's ever seen the end of the ocean. Be the ocean. Start your own path. Do what you got to do. And I honestly, I truthfully believe in that because, there's so many people that, somebody's doing something, a fad is doing something, I'm going to jump on that fad. I'm going to do that. No, it's cool to go left. If someone else is going left, you can go right. It's cool. Do your own path. And I tell kids all the time, I tell myself that, I tell my kids that it's cool to be different.
Yeah.
It's cool to be different.
Cool.
A lot of kids say, they laugh at, no, okay, you're laughing at me now, but when I do something to change the world, you're not going to be laughing. That's the thing. And I have my mindset. I said, I have so many ideas that I want to do with Captain B because I feel like there's a hole in not just United States, not the world that can fill Captain B. And I feel like a lot of kids, especially that look like us, suffering because there's nothing that looks like us that can help them in the situation that they're going through. Down in Mississippi, up in New York, down in all around. There's Black kids or kids of color that can help them. Not saying, that is specifically to color, but a lot of times kids of color can go to the library or go to somewhere and they can't see a book that they can specifically correlate to. They can't. And the reason why I chose to be a superhero, because everyone wants to put Black Panther to be, okay, we love Black Panther, cool. But our kids don't say, I want to be Black Panther. Because it's from afar. No, Captain B is somebody who's with you all the time. Yeah. Who's with you all the time? The man above who's with you all the time. Yeah. Captain B all the time. Yeah. Anytime you have a situation, Captain B is with you all the time. So you gotta so you call on him like you call on the man above with you all the time. So that's so I really think that, my passion and the kids that can receive and hear me what I'm saying to them, they can specifically understand what I'm saying. I pray and hope that they do because I feel like there's a void in it.
Wow. That's incredible, man. That's incredible. I saw as I was talking, I saw you bubbling over there, man. I was like, he's passionate about that, man.
Honestly, I talk to my girlfriend about this all the time. I said, and it's so crazy because when I start to do stuff in the community, when I do things, I give back. I didn't want to put myself out there. I didn't want to let nobody know what I'm doing. I just wanted to do it and let nobody know what I'm doing. She always says, no, let people see you. Right. Let them know. I said, I want to be the person in the back. I just do it. I have giveaways and stuff like that, but I'm in the back. She's like, no, let people see you. Let people let you be personable. Let you get out there. And that's one thing that, I'm trying to help with myself so people can understand and see me get into the public, not just me being in the back and, things like that. So, yeah, but that, I love talking about it. It exudes. It just gets me real hype, real happy when I talk about it.
But no, that's it, man. If if more of us could find our passion, find that thing, you understand, the thing that if I wake you up at 2:00 in the morning, I start talking to you about bullying, that's what's going to happen. The more people that can get in that place and find their passion, the better our world's going to be, the better our communities are going to be. And number one, the better our families are going to be. Now, you touched on my next question about changing the world. And that's what I wanted to ask you. You know, how do you see yourself changing your world and then the world at large in the next, I said next 3 to 5 years, but it could be in the next 6 weeks. Man, the way you talking, hey, look, you ready to go right now.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
You know, what ways do you, and I like, you said it earlier, there's more coming from Captain B. And that, hey, I want to applaud you. I want to applaud you on that, because I think this is going to be a great series.
Yes.
I could foresee this book, not, you know, just for families, but I could see this book being in schools using it to help educate their kids, and then teachers, parents, whomever. So, man, we definitely touch and agree with you, man, that, you know, all that God has for you, that it takes off, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So what other things that you're planning on doing? Obviously, you're going to do some more writing. Obviously, you are an entrepreneur. And sometimes I'm bad at forgetting to do it at the end. So when I think of it, I just do it then. So if somebody's wanting to buy Captain B, and I just don't want to front, I bought the book. I read the book. So I'm not just blowing, you know, this is, hey, go get it. Go get it. I'm telling you, it's life-changing. Yeah, man. I support my brother. Trust me, man.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. How can people find you? What's the website? Okay. Like, what's your social media? You know what I mean? We'll talk about it at the end, but we've already talked about this Philly cheesesteak thing. So we'll visit that before we get off. But how can people find you, man?
Okay, so my website is www.voarent.com. Voar is VOARENT.com. Every social media, Instagram is VoarEnt, Facebook is VoarEntertainment.com. I have a TikTok, it's VoarEnt. Every social media platform, Snapchat is VoarEnt, and I post everywhere. So you can find me over there. You can get the book at VoarEnt.com. It's at Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, of course, Books A Million, someone's everywhere. So if you don't want to get it from me, on my website, you can get it from Amazon and everything like that. I also have Captain B merchandise out.
Yes.
So, you know, T-shirts, youth sizes, and, you know, you can get there from my website. Also, you can DM me and, email me. I respond real quick. So anywhere. Absolutely.
That's great. That's great. So my viewers, go out, support my brother. Trust me, it's definitely a worthwhile investment. Yeah. I think you'll be very, very impressed with the read. And then I love it that even if mom and dad's not there, your child can sit down and read the book, and follow along through it. So it's a great family tool. So definitely go out and invest in it. Now, I know we talked a little bit earlier. I can't help it, man. Whenever I find out somebody has that connection with their grandparents like that, I always want to bring that up, because that's that's a part of my story. But talk to me about some others who inspired you in life, or who inspire you now.
One of my biggest inspirations now is my children. Like,
got you.
I wake up every morning knowing I have to win so they can win.
Yeah, man.
If I don't win, they can't win.
Wow.
So anytime I get down, I gotta say, you know what? They look at me. I gotta win. So, that's my one of my biggest inspirations. And a lot of times, you know what? A lot of time I hear people when they do award ceremonies thinking everybody. Nobody ever thinks themselves. Nobody. Yeah. You have to think yourself, because if you don't, you feel like you're slighted. You do the work. At the end of the day, when nobody's around, who has to put pen to paper?
Yeah.
You do. You have to have the fortitude to like, listen, I got to get this done because I want to get this done.
Incredible.
Nobody, you got to think, I think myself because I've been through trials and tribulations. I got back up. I continue going. I think myself because ain't nobody else here to do it. I got to do it. I got to win because if I don't, nobody else around me can win.
Incredible.
My voar means in Portuguese, it means to fly. It means to fly. And I broke it down for my meaning to FLY, forever loving yourself, because you have to love yourself before you can love nobody else.
I saw that. I saw that in all of them. I was like, okay, let's fly. There we go.
You have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. Because if you don't, a lot of times when I love you, I'm doing all that. You gotta love you first before you love anybody else, because you feel slight at the end. You got to do it. So I thank myself because I went through a lot of stuff and I got back up. I kept on doing it. So I thank myself and my kids and my mom, my grandparents and everything. But those immediate, yes, definitely.
Wow, incredible. I like that. I love that. Man, viewers, hey, somebody right now just stop what you're doing and just thank yourself, man.
Thank yourself.
Thank yourself, man. You know what? Yeah, thank yourself. That's good, man. You absolutely, and we should. You're right. We should thank everybody else, but you're right.
Right. You
have to take the time, like, thank you. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. I told y'all, man, we're bringing it this year. I told y'all, you don't want to miss these New Balance episodes. We're bringing it. Yeah. God's blessed us with the people, and I'm telling you, we are stronger together. We are better together, right? And like on this screen, we have a screen that's dividing us, but trust me, he's in one whole other state. I'm in a whole nother state, but yet we still reach out to say, hey, we are better together, man. So, man, this has been an incredible time, brother. This has been an incredible time, man. What else do you have going on for the rest of the year in terms of, are you doing any other traveling, or obviously I know you're going to be doing some more writing.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know what? Honestly, the second series of Captain B is done. It's raw. I completed it, edited and everything, but I want to wait a little bit, get some more traction for the first book. And then I'll come out with the second book, because the merchandise is going to start building up and things like that. So I'm going to come out with a second book. I want every book to come out at the beginning of the school year. So
I love it.
So we have kids for something to do with. But I want to take this time to say, come here for a second.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
I don't know, but this person right here, this is my girlfriend, Sheree.
What's up, Miss Sheree?
Very instrumental and backbone to me doing Captain B, a lot of getting out of my comfort zone and forcing me to
come on back to the screen, Miss Sheree. There we go, share. We need you in the screen. Yeah, share that motivation.
I'm not comfortable with, but she believes in me when sometimes I don't believe myself. So I completely, give her a lot of credit to helping Captain B and myself to get to where I need to get to for myself, our kids and everything. So definitely her out and all that.
I think that's so important. Like I said, man, we're on this podcast. It's about really uncovering so people can get the truth. And you said a very, very critical term. We have to stop and say thank you to ourselves. Right. But in our families, man, in our communities, many times we fail to give credit where credit is due. I think the more families can see this, the more families can hear this. Now, my wife, I'm just being straight up with you. It would take me and 10 other men to pull her on the screen. She's not going to get on the camera with me. But you better know that everything you're hearing, she's a big part of. She's just not gonna do this. But people that follow this channel, they know about her. If I do anything live, with the exception of last week, she couldn't be there, but you saw I had my kids with me. And this is definitely a family hustle. This is definitely God breathed. And as a Black man, I'm gonna tell you something. The more we can show unity with our Black queens, and we can show that, hey, our Black women, like I said earlier, we can do more than shake our behinds. We can do more than fried chicken. We can do more than do hair. And I don't have anything against any of it. Listen, if you can fry the best chicken, baby, fry it. Open up 400 stores, just like Chick-fil-A. Do like Chick-fil-A. You understand? If you can do hair, open up salons all over the world. If you can dance, hey, open up dance academies all over the world. Listen, we for it. All I'm saying is we have options. We're more, it's more to us than that. Right? And how do we get that message out? It starts in our families and it starts in our communities.
Right.
It's not, I promise you, it ain't no put down. I told you before, man, it's love on this podcast, but we're going to promote the other side of who we are.
Yeah.
So Miss Sheree, I just want to say shout out, and for the man to bring you on the screen, we know he love you. And that's an appreciation. Just say, I want the world to know, man, I was over here thinking myself, but hold on, let me show y'all who you want to see the wind beneath my wings. Here she is. So anytime that happens, I think we need to stop and celebrate it. And hey, much love to you guys. Keep it going. And I know there's a lot of great other things that are going to be coming out the camp in Philly. All right. Thank you, Miss Sheree, for coming on.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Now let's get to these Philly cheesesteaks. Let's talk about these Philly. You know what I mean? Y'all might need to cash out me one or something, man.
If I can know how to send one down there to you,
I know, right?
Dry ice or something. You know, I'm gonna figure it out.
Man, listen.
My uncle used to live down there.
So me and my wife, we obviously this year we kind of booked up, but next year, man, there's a couple of spots we just gonna go hit, and they're gonna be like quick weekend trips. We're gonna do like quick 2-day, turn around and get back. And so we got it on there. And when we come, I'm gonna look you up.
Listen, you
look you up. As soon as the plane hit the ground, we get in the rental car, the Uber, whatever we in. I'm like, hey man, hey Brandon, where is it? Let's go. You know.
Listen, I'll take it to everyone. Matter of fact, I'll take it to a couple of them, and you be the judge.
Okay, I got you.
You got to have your pretzel and your water ice.
That's it. That's why I said I got to go try all of it, man. So all my people from Philly, or people who rocking with Philly and know what he's talking about, you know, it's love. He was telling me about that last week. I said, okay, I ain't scared. I'm gonna come down and get deep in it, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, listen, Brandon, man, this has been an incredible time together.
Yes, sir.
And I'm telling you that this is not our last time. I believe in creating a network where people can, plug in. You know, it's nothing like when your phone gets low on that battery, man.
Right.
You are like, look, man, I gotta find a plug quick because my battery is low, and I feel like that's life right now. Right. People are looking for places to plug in. And unfortunately, as much as we want to say it, there are not enough places to plug in.
Right.
But that's purpose. That's purpose for you. That's purpose for me. So the more of us can come together and we can create this family or this community where people can plug in and their life is charged, we need to do it, brother.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So it's all love on this end, Brandon, man. Listen, keep pressing. We can't wait for the next edition of Captain B, man. And man, I'm a phone call away. This is so big to come on, man. Like I said, I think you agree with me that when we talked last week, I believe you felt the connection.
Definitely.
When we talked, man, and I knew we had to be on. So shout out to Sharice for her vision, because if she didn't have the expo, you and I don't even meet, man. So shout out to you, Sharice. Great thing, great thing with the book tour. We appreciate her being obedient and having it so that we could come together, man. So as we always say on the New Balance podcast, man, it's strength for today, sustenance for tomorrow. And no matter who you are in life, all of us will find ourselves in need of a new balance. It's your potential conditioner, H2O. We'll see you when we see you. Peace.